Okay, so how can 30 grams of protein not be 30 grams of protein? Well, we absorb and utilize certain proteins better than others.
It's just
Protein.
Bacon.
Protein.
I'm hearing this and I'm like, what the? Oh my God.
Protein.
Not getting enough overall protein.
In these protein deficient diets.
Protein.
Are we still talking about this?
Protein.
Vegans need a little more protein because supposedly protein
Aren't even hitting their minimum protein requirements.
So what's the consequence of that? What's the bro? What like? Oh,
that is exactly my reaction. Welcome to the Carbohydrates channel. Today I'm showing you more of the fallout from the video about protein that was uploaded by the large YouTube channel called What I've Learned.
anyone now can become an influencer. This guy's racked up a lot of views, a lot of subs from just doing B-roll of other people's content.
Yeah, many years ago I made some videos on how people actually get popular, and it has nothing to do with how much you help people or how truthful you are.
He's not a trainer. He's not a doctor. He's not a health professional. He's just a YouTuber, and that's okay.
And that guy who makes the videos on What I've Learned is named Joseph. In my last video, I assumed that he was biased for a heavy meat diet, keto. So I did a search of his channel for keto. Let's see, 3 years ago. Is ketosis dangerous? Yes, science says that. There's a list of conditions associated with it. What do they have to fast on their healthy diet? This video, look at this guy's face. I know that guy. This guy is like the biggest clown in the keto world. This guy's super stupid. I made one video on him 3 years ago, and that was enough. And What I've Learned made an entire 15-minute video interviewing him. Biohacking. This went viral. And it's why do we get fat and hungry at the same time? Yeah. And I know the answer to that. And I know that Joseph is not going to have the answer I have, because everyone who asks that question comes up with the wrong answer. People are eating a lot of calories, but empty nutrients. They're not getting the nutrients because they're eating junk food. It's really that simple. But you know where he's going to go with it, and read the rest of the title. Biology of weight gain and low carb bullshit. I eat a carbitarian diet, and I cannot get fat. You know, expert on diabetes. These kind of people always talk about diabetes because they've got their own version of how to cure it. Butter coffee. There you go. It's all the same circles. I covered that years ago. It's always low carbers putting butter in their coffee, like snake oil. By the way, there's actually a guy out there who is selling something he calls snake oil, and he has been successful with it. You know, they bought snake oil at one point in history. That's why snake oil has become a term of something that doesn't work, that people get scammed on. But if it worked in the past, it's going to work again. Why I now eat one meal a day. So, yep, Durianrider was right. And look at the views he got. It's all about the views. False information gets the most views. He's covering a debate between two other people. See, someone said he covered the carnivore diet, and here it is. And this was way back. This was when it was trending. See, I was right. He follows the trends. He looks to see what the trends are, and then he jumps on it. That's why his channel is big. Now let's do another search. Let's be balanced here. Yeah, just search for the word diet, so that would get anything diet related. And look, it's still just pro-meat stuff. Carnivore, Japan, high carb to low carb. When they're eating a lot of carbs, they're also often eating a lot of fat. And that is where the problem happens. Suggesting the Egyptians were fat. Low carb keto, Western price, bulk grab. That's my old rap from 5 years ago. I know that person. The brain shit. Yeah, I had fun debunking that. Why is it complicated? It's complicated because people like him complicate it. And there's this scam about the idea, about the fact, the body can live without carbs. We know how that trick works. And I made a video about that 5 years ago in the parking lot of the 99-cent store. Good memory. I remember 5 years ago. Finished filming, and then I went in the 99-cent store. And when I was in there, I thought of something else, something big I could add to the video. Butter coffee. So I was right. He is deep into that crowded keto rectum.
I'm here with Professor of Animal Science and Air Quality Specialist at UC Davis, Dr. Frank Mitlerner.
A few minutes into it, we have our first and pretty much only expert of the video.
So let's be optimistic and say we got 10% of the United States to stop eating meat.
And this was to see how going vegan would help the planet, environment.
Comparing the 10% of America giving up meat with the current American diet. This seems like a weird proposition given that 3 to 6% of Americans are already vegan and even more are vegetarian.
So the difference would be very little difference in the amount of vegans, and the outcome would be very little difference in the outcome in how it would affect anything.
That's straight up textbook strawman fallacy for you. You honestly believe we're not capable of growing things wherever we want? The whole conversation is pointless. We currently...
Now back to the protein video. In the comments below that video, there were some people saying, why would I be upset at this video? Because in their mind, they see this video as helpful to vegans because it could keep them vegan. Well, he's actually right about that. You know, for new vegans who have this protein fear, this video could put their mind at ease and have them thinking they are doing the right thing. That's the mindset of some of them, at least the people who agreed with this video and the person who made it. And this brings up an interesting point that I thought of. If, in their minds, Joseph's video is not anti-vegan and it can help vegans, then why are there some non-vegans in the comments section laughing at vegans and saying, we won, have a steak, all that kind of stuff, and a couple people saying that the vegans are going to be triggered by this video? Well, why would us vegans be upset at this video then? Why aren't they thinking that? Why aren't they wondering why we are upset at this video? Why should we be disagreeing with it if it's not wrong? That could be one of those great unanswered questions. But put these facts together. Joseph learned all this stuff about protein. What for? He's not eating a vegan diet. He's eating an anti-vegan diet. Now let me clarify that he probably didn't learn about protein first, then choose a meat-heavy diet. It's most likely that he learned all that outdated information about protein, but not the updated information, from being in those high meat circles.
Here he is. Oh, Arnold Schwarzenegger eats meat. Well, you eat meat, dude, and I'm not that impressed.
So DIAS scores are considering how much and how absorbable the essential amino acids in a food are.
So, I am assuming you're not going to bother to actually provide any research that conflicts with your biases, but I'll do it for you. I don't know, for me, those 3 centimeters don't mean much, but...
Bigger does not mean better when it comes to health. Oh, look at what just popped up. Can you see that? This is amazing. I just got a pop-up. There it is. Look. Look who just made a video called What I've Learned Debunked Protein. And now we get to Durianrider's video here. Okay, I also know this guy. I've known him for like 10 years, 11. He's entertaining. So since I did my own reaction video to this should be pretty interesting to me.
In my opinion, as a qualified trainer for decades, this guy has a raging eating disorder, and I'd like to help him. Anyway, I'm going to debunk this video. This is about protein, and I watched a few minutes of it, and I'm like, oh man, I am so triggered.
See, there's the reaction again. See, all of us had the similar reaction. What? This is like 95 again. Let's see his reaction here.
I am so triggered right now. I'm so triggered right now.
There's a couple comments into that video saying, I bet the vegans are going to be real triggered by this.
First he says protein builds muscle, and then he's implying that lentils or plants won't give you enough protein. Bro, have you ever seen a horse? Have you ever seen a cow? I've been a vegan for like 21 years, and I'm just like, I'm hearing this, and I'm like, are we still talking about this in 2021? 2021, literally.
That's what I said.
April 21, 2001. So
it's hard to believe. Well, not when you really think about it, but see, in our minds, this ended in our minds back many years ago. This is like bringing out however doctors used to practice back 100 years ago and then saying, look at what I've learned. Why'd they give all this up? This stuff makes sense.
I'm like, what the? Oh, my God. And I've learned I've got great restraint for swearing right now because I want to swear the roof off this tent.
This is important because the body requires protein for all kinds of things to stay healthy, anything from building bones to making hormones.
And your body recycles most of the protein it uses.
I brought that up in my video. Almost nobody knows that one. That never gets talked about. Joseph even brought up the game changers. He's well aware that there's a lot of vegan athletes out there. They make it into the Olympics. I made a video about the Rio Olympics 2016.
You're in a mostly meat diet. You couldn't keep up with me for 30-second sprint on the bike. And I could do that same pace for probably an hour that you'd struggle at, bro.
For those that don't know this guy's legit. He's a documented high-level athlete, and I know of many others. They're all on record winning competitions.
Bro, you are dreaming.
And I'm specifically thinking of the fruitarians out there who understand all this protein crap, and they're not supplementing it. My prediction's been right there. He's still vegan. See, I spotted a long time ago. I can spot who's going to still be vegan many years from now. And here we are many years from now. See, he's a real vegan. And you know I'm a real vegan. You know I'm not going to be one of those quitters. You can spot the quitters. Like the trash Miley Cyrus.
And data from N. Haynes suggests that 40% of Americans...
Who's N. Haynes? What? Who's N. Haynes? This guy just using all this B-roll analysis. This is a Terminator. Like, dude, you're just so uneducated, man. And I am about to have a coronary.
aren't even hitting their minimum protein requirements.
So what's the consequence of that? What's the bro? What like? Oh,
That is exactly my reaction. In my live video, I said, minimum requirements for what? Assume it's to stay alive. But people are not dying from lack of protein. Oh, what he's talking about is minimum RDA. Those aren't the actual numbers that you need.
oh my God! I'm gonna pause this video. I'm gonna go have a scream. Oh, okay. This isn't crazy. The neighbors are probably gonna call the police now because there's a guy.
I'm the only one who's talked about recommending it as therapy to remove stress because I have a big problem with that. And this is the best way to do that. This works great. Here's a demonstration.
Well, we absorb and
You know, like it's like oh, he uses a picture of a steak in a restaurant versus some thing of gruel or whatever.
Yep.
Like, you know, like, dude, like, how much bias do you have against vegans?
utilize certain proteins better than others. There's a scoring system called DIAS, recognized.
Check it out. Here's Durianrider's reaction to this Diaz score, which I'm not familiar with, so I figured it was something going around the low-carb, keto, anti-vegan community, and sure enough, it is. It was probably made up by them or just used by them for the algorithm to associate them with this new term. See, a new term creates a new glitch in the algorithm, if you want to call it that. A new segment. It's all business. Let's see if he's heard of this. There's a good chance he hasn't, because what I was just saying was probably right. They're always coming up with new terms.
Scoring system called DIAS, recognized.
This guy's voice is so freaking pretentious, man.
Yes. I've been noticing that.
What's your protein quality? Like,
It's 100%. 100% quality right there.
people say, Harley, you've been a vegan 21 years, you're very biased towards that. Like, I'll be totally scientific. Like, you cannot be a vegan sumo wrestler. You will not be heavy enough. If you want to be 400-pounder, you need to eat meat. If you want to be your fattest, biggest, heaviest self, you need to eat meat. It's just how it is.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed this footage, I've got more of this in my last video, which you can find on my main channel. This video was solid. I checked all the boxes and had fun doing it. This video should really go viral. This should be the one. And I would think every vegan in our community would agree. This video needs to be seen by the masses. But for that to happen, it's got to get initial views from the community. to get it into search results. Like my Dr. Berg slam down. That thing is still going. I'm continually getting comments from Berg fans. That means it's reaching them, the people that we're trying to reach. And what's even better than if you were to watch the video and give it one view is if you shared it to other people. If we can get it out to a vegan that has some popularity, an influencer, he can spread it to his people. And that's all it would take. This thumbnail will take you to the video.